starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, welcome to the Look and Live YouTube channel, and we are also live on the Darth Vader channel. Let me make sure I get it correct. Heart of Darth Vader. All right, it's been a while. Yeah, it's been. All right, let me bring you on. Okay, you should be good. There you go.
All right.
You should be on my screen as well. How's it going, friend?
Uh, it's going great. I woke up this morning with renewed sense of enthusiasm and excitement for what the future holds.
Yeah, I felt like the sun is shining brighter and everybody's smile is a little bit wider. And I noticed there is something in the atmosphere that feels better for some reason. And
Yeah,
it just feels good. So it feels so good to live in America today.
I hear that, and that's pretty much where I'm at. Is like a huge sense of relief and like burden feels
Yeah.
like it's been lifted off my shoulders.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I totally feel how you feel because yeah, it feels like this was years coming. You and I have had these live stream videos, and how many times have we talked and sad things happening and bad things censored and so on. But here we are today.
hmm
2024, Donald Trump has won back the White House. Who
And very few presidents in history have done that. Like
This,
very few. I
this is
think
massive.
maybe 12 at most in
Yeah.
our entire history.
Wow.
So yeah, it's just amazing to see that people are finally starting to wake up and come to terms with the fact that you know what, maybe it wasn't such a bad deal.
Well, 4 years of Biden's administration can certainly transform your perception.
Right.
How about
But
how good
but
of
what kills me is some of these states voted in Trump, but yet their local they voted straight Democrat.
That's interesting. I love that. Yeah,
And if you look at the electoral map, and it's like, why? Why would you do that?
yeah, yeah. It's kind of a thing. Well, some
But
of them say they
the,
feel like
the
some Republicans are too extremists on certain things. I'm like, sure,
yeah,
about that.
and I'm like, yeah, sure.
Yeah,
You say so.
yeah.
Um,
Wow.
but the thing that I really like is the fact that for once, President Trump has an opportunity here to do amazing things because not only did he win the presidency, Republicans won the House, and so it's like everything is just falling into place for him to have an amazing 4-year run.
Yeah, it's a massive time. Drastic changes are gonna take place. Is very obvious to me.
And all for the good.
Yeah, I mean that's all we can hope for. Of course, we expecting that this is how it's gonna be, and we're also hoping that they will allow him to get the work done. And I think last time he was president, they make sure he couldn't build a wall. They make sure they give him so much hardship, and especially the rhinos. They,
hmm
they work as hard as they could possibly do, along with the Democrats, to oppose any political policies that he had for the American people. And and I'm hoping this time, now that he wins again, a lot of these hurdles will be moved out of the way so that he can get the work done.
Right.
Yeah. Wow. So it's exciting times, man, to live. I'm telling you, it feels so good in the air. So we're not gonna be here for a long time. We have life. We have things to do. So I'm hoping we can hang out for at least 40 minutes to an hour, the most. So
Sounds
let's
like
begin.
a
Let's begin with a video with Scott Jennings. He's been like a scapegoat in CNN,
plan.
trying to get some of these left wing individuals to have a balanced perception on reality, but they have not had the ability to actually understand where he's coming from. And I think this is a huge win, not just for Trump and the American people. It's a huge win for Scott Jennings sitting among these liberals.
Yeah.
They're gonna. It's like they're coming to reality. Like, wow, this man was trying to tell us this all this time.
Mhm.
we we didn't want to listen. So anyway, I think this is one of the most powerful speech I have ever heard, and I'm also gonna get your perspective on it. So let's take a listen. All right, let me refresh that. All right, let's go back down there. There we go.
Mandate has won the national. This is a mandate. Has won the national popular vote for the first time since for a Republican for the first time since 2004. This is a big deal. This isn't backing into the office. This is a mandate to do what you said you were going to do. Get the economy working again for regular working class Americans. Fix immigration. Try to get crime under control. Try to reduce the chaos in the world. This is a mandate from the American people to do that. I think I'm interpreting the results tonight as the revenge of just the regular old working class American, the anonymous American who has been crushed, insulted, condescended to. They're not garbage. They're not Nazis. They're just regular people who get up and go to work every day and are trying to make a better life for their kids, and they feel like they have been told to just shut up when they have complained about the things that are hurting them in their own lives. I also feel like this election, as we sit here and pour over this tonight, is something of an indictment of the political information complex. I mean, we've been sitting around here for the last couple of weeks, and the story that was portrayed was not true. I mean, we were told Puerto Rico was going to change the election. Liz Cheney, Nikki Haley voters, women lying to their husbands. Before that, it was Tim Walz and the camo hats. Night after night after night, we were told all these things and gimmicks were going to somehow push Harris over the line. And we were just ignoring the fundamentals. Inflation, people feeling like that they were barely able to tread water at best. That was the fundamentals of the election. And so I think that both parties should always look at the results of an election and figure out what went right and what went wrong. But I think for all of us who cover elections and talk about elections and do this on a day-to-day basis, we have to figure out how to understand, talk to, and listen to the half of the country that rose up tonight and said, we've had enough.
And he's spot on that. I wouldn't disagree with him on any point that he made.
No, me neither.
This is the President Trump being reelected is basically an indictment on the system.
Yes, yes. That's exactly what it is. And the system has tried so hard to
Stop it.
yeah, not only stop Trump, but to create a version of Kamala Harris that all of us knew was fake, wasn't real. You know, they trying to glorify her and turn her into a messiah type as if this woman, she's the best thing since sliced bread. But people can see through the cracks, man.
Mm-hmm.
This is like a warning that the American people are not stupid. They're not dumb. Like they understand a real from a fake, and they know when they're being lied to. Like the media is just realizing their propaganda hasn't worked. They failed. They realizing they failed.
And I thank God for that.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad. You know, one thing we don't give credit to is we talk about the mainstream media all the time, and we talk about how you know all the stuff that they're pushing and everything else. But what I think the mainstream media has failed to realize, not only the American people don't trust them, but the American people are listening to Candace Owens, PPD podcasts, the
Crowder with Crowder.
Crowder, those guys in their home studio with the mics are the real news reporter. They actually fail to understand. Like we're getting our news not from the mainstream media network. We're listening to the heart of the matter. Look and live. These guys are the real people who are making an impact on the minds of individuals. And they underestimate the influence that these YouTubers have had on masses of them, on the minds of the masses of Americans. And I think they are waking up to that reality. They are waking up to it. You know, so this is a day of reckoning for all of them as well, to take a look within and never to underestimate the power and the intelligence of the American people ever again.
Yeah. And that's exactly it. They highly underestimated what people can see and what they can't see and what they, how they think and everything. And it's like, you realize we're a country based on not doing what we're told to do
Correct.
by an overlord power,
Yes.
So you take that into account and it makes sense that it went this way.
Of course. It's like they wanted to push the country so far, liberal, left, extreme left, that it went the other direction. It's like the clock swings the other direction.
Hmm.
And it's like, no, the American people just sounded an alarm and sent a message out and said, no, 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 it's not going to happen. And this is the reality. And this is something they have to look at themselves and say, from this point forward, how are we going to report the news? Because they don't believe us.
Right.
They don't trust in anything we've been telling them. These people have a mind of their own. They're getting their news from another source, and it's not coming from us.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
He was like the first one to post that kid there.
I'm gonna come back to him. But the ladies on The View, guess who they're blaming? They blame the media. They blame Fox News
Hmm.
because people cannot recognize fake news from real news. That's how delusional they are. Let's take a listen.
Can we not let Fox News off the hook, please? I don't understand. And Newsmax and all the fake news that's been going out there. One of the things that we need to do, and it's not to abolish the Department of Education. As a former teacher, believe me, he's talking about doing that.
Yes.
Kids I brought this up before, I'm going to bring it up again. In Finland, kids in nursery school are learning to discern between fake news and real news.
Yeah.
They should be teaching that in this country.
Yeah.
Teach children tolerance, teach them to think critically.
Well, it would help if we could regulate social
Pause.
media, because one of the biggest
Problem is her version of thinking critically and discerning the difference isn't what is lines with reality.
Of course, that's the problem.
And that's what the American people realized is all this garbage they've been feeding us isn't aligning with the reality of the situation.
Exactly.
And
Like, they don't know
it's
what they're
like,
talking about. It's like a double negative. They have no idea that you have been a purveyor of fake news.
exactly.
You have not been pushing critical thinking. The very thing the people voted for to get Trump back in office are the very things they're pushing against your own culture. Like, these people are so disconnected.
Hmm.
Like, no, the fake news is you. You are the pot calling the kettle black. Like, what are you talking about? You have been the one brainwashing the masses.
It's
We were
classic
able to-
projection.
It's pure projection. And we were able to see through that. We did not fall for it. You told us he was Hitler, he was a murderer, he was this and that and yada, yada, yada. It's all fake news.
Hmm.
You were part of that fake news propaganda machine. And we woke up to it and we laughed.
Yeah.
Now, instead of you humbling yourself and say, you know what could we have done differently? No, they can't do that. They don't have the humility to do it.
No. And the American people last night made their voices heard.
Yeah.
And said enough's enough. We're done
Yeah.
with this.
Yes, yes. Yeah, I think what's her name? Donna from boy. We have to talk about her. Let's talk about Donna. Anyway, she kind of pretty much said that. I put a video out last night. I've been literally clipping videos together as often as I can, put them on there. Because I'm clipping. I was up till 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, I need to go to sleep, but I could not sleep. I said, Lord, I need to stay up. I need to see the end of that story. And as soon as he won, I knew they was so. They would say, I just laid my head down and went to sleep. I said, thank you. Now I can sleep. I can sleep peacefully. Let me sleep. So yeah, I put a compilation together.
Yeah, that's about the sum of it.
they're saying are accurate.
But
and
Donna is in this news in this little clip that I put together. She's going to kind of like say it like it is. I mean, it's nothing we haven't seen before.
Hmm.
It's like the sadness begin to settle in, and the liberals. Oh man, I love it. I feel afraid. I feel sad, and I get it. I get it. Cenk Uygur even came
Oh
out.
man.
Yeah, even Cenk Uygur had to admit to it. But I want to get to Donald because she's pretty much saying the same thing that you said. Um, it's just there's no way. There is no way. There she is. Is she, no, her name is not Donna. What's her name? I forgot what her name is. Anyway, let's listen to what her remarks are.
That maybe this was never about policy. Maybe it's about cultural alienation from the pro-democracy coalition. I mean, I don't even know if you can call it the Democratic Party. Vice President Kamala Harris ran alongside Liz Cheney, and a whole bunch of people, large numbers of Latino men, mostly men, but women also felt no magnetic pull toward that coalition. And I think there's a lot to learn. I just read some comments Chuck Todd made that are similar to comments you made and that Ari's made. I mean, there is a story about realignment. And of course, the ultimate outcome is not known. But what we're learning about how people voted, they did not vote in along sort of even traditional party lines. I mean, your point earlier about black voters, but there are policies that you're talking about that didn't make a difference in terms of how people voted, and then there are policies that mattered very much to how people voted, but just not at the top of the ticket. So there's a whole lot of information that we're going to be digesting in the coming days.
So you and that was something that I noticed too. Was they'll turn around and vote Trump in some states they'll vote for Trump for president, and then the rest of the ticket they'll just do Democrat straight down through.
Wow.
And it's like, are you trying to make his job harder?
Yeah.
Like you want him in office because you know what he's capable of, but yet you're making his job harder
Yeah.
by putting these other people in.
I think this is their failure. I don't think they're connecting the dots here. But I can understand from a state level, they're looking at what works for their state. But from a presidential level, they say Trump is definitely the best.
But
But again, it's a contradiction because these people at the states are going to give Trump a really difficult time to get their job done.
and even on a state level, you look at it like there's states that are constantly voting blue all the time aren't doing that great. Like look at California, for example.
Exactly.
People fleeing in record numbers, because of policies and stuff that were put into place,
Yeah, but Trump still got 17% of the California vote.
which is amazing.
That's historic.
And he almost like within 4 or 5 points flipped New York.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's massive. That's massive. And I can
Nobody's
see
done that since Reagan.
No way. 19% of the black vote went to Trump. That is historic for a Republican president. Like, that's just massive. And we're not talking about many blacks who did not vote. But the thing is, the 19% who did vote, I can tell you over 90% of that has to be black men. Like,
Well, I don't underestimate the ladies out there, because
well, the ladies are standing firm, though. I'll tell you what. My wife's like, nope, I'm standing firm. And, even her friend was like, I'm voting for Trump. I'm just tired of this nonsense. Some of them made their decision like the day before. They were like, yeah, I'm just tired of the trends. Some of them just on the trans issue alone, they voted for Trump. For me, it's like I look at the border, I look at abortion, and I look at the inflation. Those three things, and also the constant attack on Trump, that's exactly why I voted for him. I'm like, you can't just go after the man in the way that you have and thinking you're going to get me to support you. Nah,
or not have some sort of backlash at the polls.
That's a serious backlash. He's like, the American people are very patient with all the suffering that they were going through. It's like you see them going to work, living their lives, but in the back of their mind, they say, I'm going to kick you so hard.
We are getting you out of there one way or another.
You might think I'm okay with what you're doing, but I'm going to kick you so hard when I get on that screen with that blank white paper. I'm going to press that button for that orange hair white guy. And that's my kick. That's how I'm going to hurt you. And it was loud, man. It was a loud message being sent to the donor class, right? These bureaucrats who really think they run the show.
Who tried to install someone.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, nobody ever voted for Harris.
We don't even know who she is. Somebody came and spoke to me the other day, and I was at work, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I know you. Yeah, we're gonna vote." I said, "Yeah, I'm gonna vote." She said, "Yeah. So you voting for Kamala, right?" I was like, I looked at her like, you think because I'm black, I'm supposed to vote for her? Like her perspective was, "Oh, you're a black man. You're supposed to vote for her." I'm looking at her. I'm like, girl, I'm voting for Trump. She, oh, man, she went from being happy to extreme sadness. Like her
Oh,
face switched. She's like, no, Trump is the devil. I said, wait, Trump is the devil, but Kamala Harris is aborting children in the womb. She's like,
mhm,
oh, I'm for abortion. And I said, well, I'm not because I'm a Christian. She said,
mhm.
well, I'm a Christian. I said, well, you haven't read your Bible. And then,
Right, right.
well, the story went back. And she kept on coming at me mad hard. I said, I hear you. I hear you. You hate Trump. You love Kamala. Now, let me ask you a question. Give me 2 policies from Kamala
hmm
that you're voting for. Brother, by asking her that question, her world went upside down. She had nothing.
Yeah.
I said, give me 2 policies. Just name 2 policies that Kamala has will benefit you and your family and the country. Name 2 policies, and I'm
Or,
waiting.
or even something simpler like name 2 accomplishments that she's done since she's been in office.
Yes, 2 accomplishments since she's been there 3.5 years. Tell me 2 things she's done. Boy, she kind of got sad. She stood against the wall. She just realized her entire worldview has fallen by just that question because there was nothing that she had. I said, why would you vote for a person that you don't even know why you're voting for her?
hmm
You can't vote for Kamala Harris because you hate Trump. That's not a policy decision.
No.
That's just pure hatred. And I said, listen, man, you need to rethink the way you think. Like you can't be a Christian and vote for the person who tells you if you believe in pro-life, you are the wrong rally.
hmm
You don't belong here. Like this individual is the one you're gonna support. And I did a recent study, and literally I plan on preaching this. Like the history of abortion has a close connection to the eugenics movement and
Oh yeah.
adult. I never knew that. I was
hmm
shocked, brother. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. And when I found how the eugenics movement give the thought to Adolf Hitler so that he could do what he did to Germany, and that the eugenics movement with Margaret Sanger, who
Yeah.
Hillary Clinton called out, got an award from her, whatever. Margaret Sanger and all these different people from the eugenics movement, their intent was to depopulate the world, and they went to black communities, Hispanic communities, and
Well,
they
not just the world, but specifically certain ethnicities.
certain ethnicities. Yes, they went after the gypsies, the Hispanics, and the blacks. They wanted to
hmm
get rid of them. And I said, this is the movement that you are voting for.
Margaret Sanger was a rabid racist.
Well, she was so racist. Even the Planned Parenthood had to remove her name
hmm
from their. I mean, when George Floyd thing happened, and they started tearing down statue. Even the name of her streets was removed because they knew how racist she was. And yet, liberals are still voting for the same party that has an agenda where their
Yeah.
own little children are being removed from the womb, and they don't understand that, and they can't understand why people are voting for Trump. So I'm gonna show you a little compilation here because here are these liberals, and I'm not saying this in any way to make. And I know God loves us all. We understand the nature of that, and this is not an argument. We're not making a Christian argument about the matter. But the thing is, when you hear the perspective of these people, they just can't understand
No.
why people voted for Trump. So let's listen to some liberal tears for a minute.
I hate you, you fucking orange pumpkin. You just cost me one of the most important people in my life. My dad. Donald Trump, I hate you. You will never be president again.
They don't get that they voted for someone who's gonna make my friends' lives hell. My life's okay. I'm a white woman, but my friends are not gonna be okay.
I can't believe Trump's actually gonna win this fucking thing. Oh, Jesus Christ, I'm so pissed off. Fuck! 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 God damn it! I can't believe Trump's actually gonna
I am so sorry for the language, guys. We don't condone this sort of language.
Mm-mm.
I just let it raw and let you guys be the judge of this. This is mental illness.
Yeah. Severely.
This is severe mental illness. I have never seen a Republican do stuff like this.
This is Trump derangement syndrome on full display.
On full display and needs medication. The thing is, you can't be this bad in your hating. You can't be this bad. I understand you don't like Trump, but at the end of the day, you're still an American.
Yeah.
You got to work with what you got now. The thing is, at the end of the day, we gotta come together and work out our issues, pay these bills, and love our families.
I mean, we did it for 4 years.
We did it for 4 years with the one that we had. Yeah,
Mhm.
we had to do 100 YouTube videos airing out our complaints. We don't mind doing that.
Right.
We dealt with it. Like, we never tore our shirt. I ain't
No.
checking my shirt over her.
Mm-mm.
She doesn't worth my $5 shirt.
Win this fucking thing. Oh, Jesus.
Yo, I'm scared to go to sleep. I might wake up a motherfucking slave.
Oh my word.
Who told us stuff like this? This is
I-
liberal.
Like, why are y'all Trump supporters?
Oh, poor thing.
Why?
Like they really seriously believe Trump is the worst thing, and this is a media propaganda stuff. It's not really reality.
No.
Because we had Trump for 4 years. Like if he was that bad of a candidate, you should go back and say when he was president, 2006, 2020. Here are the evidence of all this stuff you're talking about. We
Yeah.
have zero evidence of that.
Like, and here's the thing. She talked about, I don't want to go to bed because I might wake up asleep. Well, he didn't the first 4 years he ran. Why would he do it the second 4 years?
But the thing is, the liberal mainstream media have kept you in a mental slavery for such a long time, and
You're
don't
already
even-
a slave
It's
due
crazy.
to the media.
They don't even realize they're slaves. You are slaves to that thinking.
hmm
The thinking that somebody's gonna come and get you.
It's
That's
the mental
slavery.
plantation.
That's the slavery right there. The thinking that you think the white man is better than you. That's the slavery right there. The average white person just want to live just like you do.
Yeah,
Where did you get that mentality from?
exactly.
They're not trying to take you. Like if this was the case, it would have been done a long time ago. Like I don't know why people don't like. But again, this is the fault of the media. We don't blame people. This is what the media has pushed on them.
This is the propaganda.
And Trump now in his presidency for the next couple of years is gonna have to undo that by being the best candidate that he is, fixing the economy, get the job done. And I think some of these people are gonna come back around. They're gonna look back and say, you know what, I was tripping. Hopefully.
Hard to say because the problem is they're so ingrained in their beliefs. They put blinders on to any
Blinders.
outside opinion.
They might not even be able to see the good works that Trump had actually done.
Exactly.
Because when you speak to a liberal, you tell them, "Can you tell me anything Trump has done?" They have nothing to say. All they see is the negativity. So if they focus on only the negative things, even when Trump maybe like changing the world, bring gas prices back down and bring Americans' jobs back home, like they will still overlook that. They, like you said, they have blinders. They can't see through it all, and that's a shame. And that's a shame.
Yeah.
She really believes she's gonna turn into a slave. Poor thing. She's really crying. Knows, oh my Lord, this is sad. This is so sad. Look at this guy.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up
You know,
into a creature,
comes to
and it
thought,
haunts me somewhere much.
this is what you get when you have an entire generation that was never told no.
Yeah, that is true. You're right. You're
These
right.
people have probably never been told no for anything in their life. And they think they're entitled to this, that, and the other. And this is what happens.
Yeah.
They don't. And this is also what you get when you have participation trophies. They
Absolutely.
don't know how to lose.
I will also say when your testosterone level is low, this is the kind of reaction you get.
Oh, yeah.
Because the average man who has some common sense and some testosterone left in him will be like, you know what, man, let's do what we have to do. I'm saying
sure.
we're gonna
For
work
sure.
that. But you're right. When you have a generation also who's never been told no, they're so spoiled. They get whatever they want whenever they want it. They cry about it and weep about it and cancel anybody who says something offensive to them. They cannot take a loss. Participation trophies and it's just not gonna work, man. You're just not gonna work.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy?
And it kills me because, I know my generation wasn't like that. So what did we do to this next generation? Where did we go wrong?
Well, we sexualize them. We we put
I mean,
there's a lot going on here, but I think
I think really what it
liberals.
boils I think really what it boils down to is the continual e- erosion of the nuclear family.
Absolutely, that is a crucial role as well.
And all these ideas about, well, you you got, okay, trans, gay, whatever alphabet people
Hmm.
who turn around and are like, oh, well, we're just going to adopt. Well, no. Or they turn around and one gets the other one knocked up and they have a kid and then raise them in their belief system. That's,
Hmm.
if it's really a mental disorder,
So sad.
because you look at it and the statistics don't match up with what they're trying to push.
Correct. Correct.
So you turn around and see people pre-transition
Hmm.
have the same self-deletion rate as those post-transition.
Correct. It's because the truth is, if it was a mental illness issue that could have been fixed by the cutting of the body parts, why do people continue to cancel themselves?
Hmm.
The thing is, the logic doesn't make sense, right? Because we
No,
try to save these children. If there is something wrong mentally, why are you cutting off their PP?
right.
Because you got to deal with the mind, because it's in the
Yeah.
mind. So we got to get them to realize that no, you were created by God. You were made in the image of God. Something is wrong. We need to figure out what that wrong thing is and realign you with reality.
Hmm.
And I think the Democratic Party just refused to accept reality. This is the result of this election. Reality will hit you in the face.
Because they know if these people continue, they're going to end up in a situation where the ma- eventually they'll become, slowly but eventually they'll become the majority,
Mm.
and people are going to stop having kids.
Mm. Yeah, he goes back to the eugenics movement again.
Hmm.
It's all connected.
It's a long con, as the saying goes.
Yeah. Wow. That oh boy, that was massive. You're right. You're right. It makes sense. It makes sense. It's so sad. Yeah. Let's keep listening. Yeah. Watch some more tears.
Hmm.
It could build and build until you finally see, whoa, it's taking over.
The pain of this situation, and then hysterically crying the next minute, watching so many people come together, and women from I go from hysterically crying 1 minute over the.
It's all right. It's all right. I feel that way too. It's all right. We feel that way together, okay? Let it out. Let it out.
Probably should have gave a head. Probably should have gave a headphone warning on that one.
I'm sorry, I didn't see it coming. I literally skipped that one, that part of the video. Oh, wow, wow. Yeah, this is mental illness at its finest. This is sad.
Hmm.
This is sad. I don't glory in anybody's pain, man. It's just not a good thing. But again, I think
But they bring it on themselves.
yeah, but the truth is they have that Trump derangement syndrome is a real issue.
Because they're
It
just
really needs to be diagnosed.
they're just putting themselves in a mental cage at that point.
Mm.
Instead of being able to think outside of the box. They don't have the ability to critically think about, okay, why is it so many people are for Trump? And not only did he win the electoral vote this time, he also won the popular vote. So guess what, Democrats? Have fun with that one.
Even the minority classes, Latinos over 40%, blacks, the Chinese. I mean, even how in the world did you manage to get both Jews and Islam to vote for you when they're in a direct conflict with each other?
And the Amish.
How did you do that? Even the Amish, Lord have mercy.
They don't get political. Ever.
They did this year.
Yeah. And you know what? I honestly, the only thing I can think of is divine intervention.
You know what, man? Like, I'm of the same conviction. I see some people, even some of my colleagues in ministry who are anti-Trump, and it's like their mentality is so bad. But anyway, the thing is, when I try to say to people, I'm like, man, the fact that this bullet didn't take this man's head out, you got to think about it and say, was this God or was this chance? And the other thing I've said to somebody, I said, think about some of the industries in this world that hate American. Like, let's go with the WHO, the World Health Organization. Let's go with the all these top dollars, the pharmaceutical companies and everything. Look at all of them and the way they've treated you, my health, and our food and everything. What they've done, and we all know what these people are responsible for. How many of them love Trump?
Yeah, all of them. Well, none of them love him because they and here's the thing is, okay, so you know that one big organization that's trying to make everything global and no borders and this and that and the other thing,
Mm-hmm.
and that what's his name's under Bill Gates.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He's a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they said that if Donald Trump gets elected, it'll be their death knell.
Oh, actually, I have that. Yeah. Let me pull that up. I'm glad you made reference to that. And they're of the conviction that Trump's wins, that's the end of their entire
Scheme.
propaganda. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They just can't survive under a Trump administration. So I think his name is Yuval. Yeah. And they've admitted to that. That will be a death blow. There we go.
Yep, that's it.
I have it in my archives. There we go.
Are you concerned that Trump might be elected again shortly?
I think it's very likely. And if it happens, it is likely to be the kind of like the death blow to what remains of the global order. And he says it openly. Now again, it should be clear that many of these politicians, they present a false dichotomy, a false binary vision of the world, as if you have to choose between patriotism and globalism.
Oh no, it's not false.
No, there's nothing false about it.
We do want to choose between patriotism and globalism. He's trying to merge the two.
Yeah.
So that's the problem. This is how we got Trump back in office.
Mm-hmm.
Because you are, and again, they make it look like they want to merge patriotism with globalism. No. You pushing woke ideology, globalism, the top down power. You don't care about the grassroots movements. You don't care about us.
Yeah.
You wanted to reset the country. You put this injection in our body, and anybody who went against it, you call them names, and you shut down the conversation online. Thank God for Twitter and Elon Musk, who had the backbone to open up the discussion Squarespace. Like, these people really think we are stupid.
Yeah.
They really think people are dumb.
They think they're smarter than us.
They really believe that, and that's the reason why Trump has won again.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have to wrestle with that, because guess what? That's just what it is. Now let's talk about some people who are happy that Trump has won. We're not talking about the liberals who are sad and crying. Let's talk about some people who are happy. Some joy in this room.
Oh, thank you, Pennsylvania. I went to sleep and I woke up and now our country is saved. Oh, thank God.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God. I know that God wouldn't let us be destroyed. Oh, thank you. I prayed and I prayed. Thank you, Lord, for saving our country. Thank you.
Amen to that.
Amen. Let's get some more joy in this room. We do have a few more. I love this guy. He's going to tell us why Trump won, because the media they can't understand why Trump won. Well, he's going to explain it to you.
What's up? I've been watching people on MSNBC try to figure out why Kamala Harris lost the election, as if that question has no answer. And it's interesting that they'll only ask people who voted for Kamala Harris, why did anybody vote for Donald Trump? Here's a thought. Maybe ask somebody who voted for Donald Trump why they did. And you're going to find out it has nothing to do with racism or sexism. It had to do with the fact that people are very unhappy with the economy and want to change in their life. So when they ask Kamala Harris, what would you do differently than Joe Biden? And her answer is not a thing. That will lose you the election. Secondly, when North Carolina gets drilled with one of the worst hurricanes on record, and you tweet that you're going to send $174 million to people in Lebanon and give $700 to the people of North Carolina, that makes people hate you. And it makes people start realizing you've abandoned them and you're not going to help them. So if you want to keep blaming everything on racism and sexism, you're going to continue to lose every election because you refuse to understand the American people. They don't care about transgenderism. They don't care about all the things you're trying to shove down their throat. They don't care about Trump's morality. They wanted a change, and you refused to provide the change. That's why Trump won, and that's why Kamala lost.
Mm-hmm.
Common sense.
But yeah, it's as simple as that, really. I mean, it's basic.
Yeah.
It's not difficult to understand. I don't.
Mm-hmm. Look at yours. Here is yours truly. Here goes your boy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It was so bad. Who was it? I gotta bring these guys back. Let me bring them back because
Mr. Fart in the Wind.
Oh man, what a day of rejoicing that will be.
Everything he said, I guarantee isn't going to age well.
Oh man, Joy Reid. Oh, we gotta listen to Joy Reid, man. Joy Reid is tripping, bro.
I mean, do we have to?
I gotta put you through this unnecessary pain. Look at the college. Look at the colleges. The young people turned out big.
My college campus after hearing Trump won.
Love it, man.
Powerful. Talking about young people are all Democrats. You got that one twisted, bro. Yo,
like you said, the pendulum's swinging back the other way.
Back, reality is hitting us in the face. Oh my goodness. Oh, here goes my girl. She is something else. Listen, she is happy.
Breaking news here in batshit bonkers Britain, where for many of us Trump-supporting, freedom-loving individuals, it's the best day ever. It couldn't be better here in the UK. We have the BBC in absolute ruins. They were unable to announce Trump victory at 7 a.m. and they said Kamala still had a very narrow margin of a route to victory, even though it's obvious she had no route to victory at all. Channel 4's coverage was shite when it started and then completely collapsed, leaving the channel having to play repeat episode of Friends or something because they had no words to speak about the glorious victory of Trump. And now we have a leader of this country who actively sent over his own teams to try and campaign for Kamala. And we have a foreign secretary who called the new president of the United States of America some of the worst names under the sun. So we can look forward to Trump punishing both of them very hard in the near future. For now, I'm just going to indulge myself in all the tears of all the people who said for all the weeks that they said, oh, it's on a knife edge, it's on a narrow margin. Well, looks like Trump won the popular vote, looks like he's got the House and the Senate, and it looks like most of the swing states have gone red as well, and Georgia by 200,000 votes. I mean, truly, one of the best days ever. Just want to say thank you to all the patriots over in America, to let you know that patriots in this country are cheering you on as loudly as we possibly can. God bless Donald J. Trump, and God bless the United States of America.
Amen.
Breaking.
Amen.
That's awesome.
I love it. Even Poland, man. Even the Polish government is rejoicing, bro. Is rejoicing for Trump's man.
Yeah, I'd imagine, because I got Russia on their doorstep.
Yeah. Yeah, you need to stop that. You need to stop Russia real quick. Even Vladimir Putin, I was speaking to a friend, man. He was telling me, well, Vladimir Putin supported Kamala Harris because, he thinks Trump is such an evil guy. And I'm like, no, he supports Kamala Harris because Kamala Harris is weak, because Kamala Harris will allow him to do what he's doing. Trump will check him. That's what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, come on, man. You have to flip that. Yeah.
It's
Oh man, this is a great day to be alive. Listen. You remember the story when Alexa was was kind of promoting Kamala Harris. And
Yeah.
you remember that? You remember that? Well, look at these guys.
The President of the United States. The President of the United States.
The U.S. President is Donald Trump.
Wow. Even Kamala, even Alexa had to tell the truth.
Oh, last night while I was watching election coverage and stuff,
Yeah.
like within minutes
Mm.
of Trump being announced as the president-elect,
Mhm.
the Houthis surrendered and called for a ceasefire.
So you send me that, but the Houthis, who are they?
They're helping back. If I'm not mistaken, they are helping give weapons and money to Hamas
Oh,
from Africa.
yeah, the Houthis. Oh, okay, the Houthis. Okay. Oh, wow. Like, the Tutsis and the Houthis. Okay.
Yeah.
Whoa. So they already know what's coming.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
This is-
They're like, hey,
yeah.
we're sorry, we're done. We'll
Sure.
stop.
War is over. So you see, and this is what I'm talking about. When strong leaderships comes into power, things happen. Because as long as we had Biden in office, we had weak leadership, war and propaganda continued. The moment you have a strong leader who can speak truth to power, who's not afraid to challenge the status quo, they surrender. They surrender. And this is why, and people were asking the question, and I'm still asking it too, is like, how did he get both the Islamic world and also the Jewish people to support him? It's simple, leadership.
They've never agreed on anything.
They never
for
agreed on anything,
centuries.
but they've agreed to vote for Trump. How did he get both classes to support him? While Kamala Harris was trying to appeal to one and appeal to the other, and there was opposition. I said the difference is that Trump's leadership is trustworthy. They know if this man gets in power, there is a possibility that these wars will end. They really believe that. The Jewish people also, they don't want to keep going through this.
No.
Even though they want to get rid of Hamas, that's certainly true, but they're not enjoying this war.
They would rather put back the Abraham Accords.
Be done with it.
Yeah.
Well, it takes a Trump to fix that, and that's why Trump was saying the whole time on the campaign trail, like if I were president, this would have never happened. If I were president, Ukraine would have never been attacked by Russia. If I were president, he's not lying because strong leadership.
We have 4 years of proof of that.
Yeah, we had no wars. Right?
But even before Russia started doing what it was doing in Ukraine, Kamala had a sit down with both leaders, and she sabotaged the meeting.
Wow.
They're like,
terrible.
It's out there. So I mean,
and I don't. I mean,
why?
I'm not sexist or anything, man. I have a wife who is amazing. Who runs things. You know, we have women in our lives that are very extremely amazing. But I'm gonna tell you something. Kamala Harris is not gonna be respected to deal with some of these tyrants. These men, American men, will put up with women in leadership
Because it is sissified.
Yeah. But if you travel in these countries where these tyrants are dominant, they will not listen to a black woman, and especially one who laughs at
You
everything.
mean Indian?
Oh, sorry. Let me take that back.
Because only up all the way up until she started campaigning was she an Indian.
Yeah,
now all of a sudden she starts campaigning. Now she's black.
She became black. They think people. Well, she's a transracial. Anyway, listen to this. This is AI generated. Please, YouTube, don't get upset. It's AI generated, but the message is beautiful.
My fellow Americans and autists who voted for Trump, it's your boy Dank Brandon here. I want to take a moment to congratulate the DNC on losing another election to Donald Trump. You replaced me with a candidate who has the same likability as Greasy, hobo tainted and expected to win, and they say I'm the retarded one. The Democrats said that I was too old, that I was too slow, that I was a joke. Well, here's a joke for you. What do Willie Brown and the 2024 presidential election have in common? Kamala Harris blew both of them. Seriously. I mean, first Hillary loses to Donald and now Kamala.
Oh, my word.
Has beaten more women than Doug Emhoff.
No, you gotta hear the next one. Listen to this.
Seriously. I mean, first Hillary loses to Donald and now Kamala. This man has beaten more women than Doug Emhoff. Anyways, Congrats on losing to Hitler again. I hope he locked you all up this time. Thank Brandon out.
You say this guy beats more women than him. Oh my goodness. I'm telling you, this is the real entertainment right here.
Yep.
Yeah, who needs mainstream media when you got you got news like that coming down the pipe?
Exactly.
This is such an amazing time to live in. Elon Musk, yo, one of the best things Trump did was going on the Joe Rogan podcast. One of the worst thing Kamala did was not going on the Joe Rogan podcast.
Mm-hmm.
That was listen, man, the perspective shifted. And when Joe Rogan gave his support to Kamala, to Donald Trump the day before the election, that right there changes everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's all the young men and the young male and the liberal, the independents, they just like moved and shift over a good 50 to 60% of them went over towards Trump. That's a huge win.
Yeah, absolutely. Because, I mean, you look at it, Joe Rogan has the biggest podcast right now on the planet. So he reaches more people than anybody else you can think of.
Absolutely.
And him
Why would you
doing
say
that,
no to a Joe Rogan podcast? What is wrong with you?
yeah,
You know how crazy you got to be to say no to a Joe Rogan podcast? Like I would pay
the reason, and I know I have a sneaking suspicion, but he would expose her for who she really is.
Yeah. Wow.
And the looks would not have been good for her.
Yeah, because well, for
The
3
optics would have been really bad.
for 3 hours she could really not, because she's good with those repetitions and words and
Mm-hmm.
reading from the teleprompter. But for 3 hours holding a conversation and then answering questions back and forth, that is a whole different ball game.
And
You
blame
can't-
Trump, blame Trump, blame Trump, blame
You
Trump.
you can't blame Trump forever. You can blame Trump forever. My I love my dad. Right? He's a staunch, Democrat, because he thinks Trump is gonna go after all immigrants. I'm like, I don't know where you get that from, but anyway. I say, yeah, if you illegal, you're a criminal. I say, yeah, you should go hide in a cave. But if you
Illegal, you're
yeah,
fine.
yeah, if you illegal, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. He's not your concern. But
Yeah.
the thing is, I was talking to him. His perspective was that he really believed that Kamala Harris is gonna protect and fix things. And his perspective was that, Trump is a bad candidate because he has character flaws. And I was trying to help him because, I don't know, Haitians and different people from different countries, they get their news from sources that are completely twisted. And I was trying to help him. I was like, listen, man, the American people already know Trump got issues. Like, it's not the issues that we are concerned about. This is what they look at. They look at Trump as a man with flaws because they themselves have flaws.
Yeah.
They look at Trump and they say he says the things that he says. Sometimes he even says the wrong thing, but at least they can see his heart. That is, they know what's inside of him. He doesn't sugarcoat the facts.
Exactly.
What you see is what you get. They love that. They love realness, right?
Mhm.
And if with all the flaws that he has, they can embrace him in spite of the flaws, because they can see in Trump something that is
Of themselves.
Yes, there's a reflection of themselves. They realize we are imperfect as well. But I'll tell you what they're more concerned with. And I try to say this with the lady that was just having a big trouble. I said, people care about policy. They don't care about identity, all that. They don't care about that. Americans care about their pocketbook, safety, policy. They care about their children. When the left begin to cut the body parts of their children, abort children in the womb till the moment of birth, they begin to lie and deceive the masses and going after the political opponent while they're talking about democracy. This is when Trump won.
Taking money out of their pockets.
Yes, you're taking money out of our pocket and sent to war with these individuals, and you say you have no money to help the American people. You're taking care of the illegals, and you left black communities and communities who's been devastated by natural disasters. You neglected them. He said, with all of this, in fact, these are the reasons why Trump won. Trump won because you failed.
Mm-hmm.
Trump won because their presidency has been dissembled. They have not cared about the American people. It's like people can read through that, and this is why they elected Trump.
There was a reason Kamala dropped out within the first 2 weeks of her presidential campaign run in 2020.
Yeah. And she got exposed by Tulsi Gabbard, and then that was the end of the story.
Real quick, I sent you a link on Discord to check out. This is good.
Okay, let me pull that up.
It's a short. thing. Speaking of the Joe Rogan podcast.
Oh, this is good. There goes my guys. Oh, I love these guys. I haven't seen them in a while. Oh my Lord, I haven't seen them in such a while. All right, let's copy that. Okay. Yeah, man. What a day to live in American politics. All right, let's take a listen.
All right, are you ready?
Am I ready? Who? You agreed, Joe.
Come on, I'm not calling you that.
You need this, Joe. Your show needs me.
Are you ready? Your Highness.
One moment, okay?
Yes, of course, my queen.
Okay, Joe. I'm ready.
Thank you, Kamala, for coming on the show. It is an honor to have a normal and natural, unedited conversation with you.
Conversations like these are so important, aren't they, Joe?
What income level was the home you were raised in, and did you care about your lawns?
I was raised in middle class family.
Amazing answer. So relatable. Me too, Kamala.
Joe, one thing I came here to talk about is Donald Trump. He thinks Puerto Ricans are garbage just because of the way they smell. This is unacceptable, Joe, and we will not stand for it. We will not stand for it.
Wow, Kamala, that is such a good answer. You are fit to be president. I love how good on your feet you are.
Yes, Joe, I'm very good at speaking to people. Ask me anything.
Okay.
No.
What about foreign policy? What would you do about Israel and Palestine?
Israel is a big country, okay? Gaza is a smaller country, okay? Israel went into Gaza, okay? And that's why there is an Israel-Gaza war, Joe.
Wow.
He does such a great job with this, too.
I can't take it anymore. She said, okay. Oh, what a
Now,
mess. What a
if you notice, he's not sitting across from Kamala in this one, in this shot.
Oh, okay. Oh, this is Donald Trump. Okay, let's take a listen.
A good point, Kamala. I will now officially endorse you for president. We need you to be president. 2024, I am voting for you for president.
You owe it to me.
I am filling out my ballot for you. Now, let's turn Texas blue.
Goodbye.
Oh, come on. I'm not saying that. Kamala, I only ever interviewed Trump because come on, I'm not saying that. I only interviewed Trump because I have a crush on you. Please date me.
This is sexual harassment!
What?
What?
You know that's how it would have went.
Exactly true.
Wash up!
Oh my goodness.
What? You're shaking your head at me. What?
Your free daily newsletter delivered straight to your
Oh
inbox.
my goodness, these guys are too much. Freedom Tunes, what a voice indeed. Memorize it well.
I love it.
Yeah,
I absolutely love it.
I love it, man. I love. Yeah, let's take a 2 or 3 more videos, and then I want to get a final remark on your perspective. So you want to put that together, and I share my final remark and close up with a word of prayer because my kids are here. All right.
Fox News decides Donald Trump is president of the United States. We've got our republic back, folks.
Let's go.
There it is.
Yeah.
Everybody should remember this moment. Look, I'm gonna echo Charlie from earlier.
It happened.
Remember where you were when this happened. Remember where you were when you realized that the Uniparty and all of these, just the establishment, you said it's time to actually participate. And look what you guys have done.
And if anyone deserves to get tears in his eyes, it's Charlie. I think we all agree.
I think Erica was chopping some onions or something in the break room.
No one has worked harder than Charlie for this.
We gotta hear some words here from you, Charlie. You put all this together, my man. Let's hear it.
I am just humbled by God. It's all God. It's all God. God alone. God alone. Decision desk has it. Pennsylvania. It's done. It's beginning.
Wow.
Powerful.
Yeah, it's been great. So let me get a final remark. How do you feel about all of this?
I'm feeling hopeful for the future for the first time in the last 4 years. I think we're in a good position and we're on a good trajectory, but I'm cautiously hopeful.
Correct.
Because Kamala is the one that still has to certify the election. There's still chicanery that can go on.
Yes.
And I think if they don't, then that's going to piss a lot of people off.
Yeah, correct.
So don't quite get there yet, but I'm hopeful.
Amen.
That we're headed in the right direction.
Amen. I feel the same. I feel that we don't know one man can fix this world, right? We are Christians. We believe God is the ultimate solution. But certainly Trump's presidency means a lot to me and my family. It means a restoration of common sense. It means Christian values being respected. It means keeping the woke culture under control. It also means saving the unborn lives. It also means empowering the Christian church, not to the point where you become a domination country. I mean, one denomination controlling the state kind of thing. We know we are totally against that.
Yeah, not a theocracy.
Yeah, we don't want a theocracy. But I think all of that really matters to me, and I can see more money in my pocket, which makes a huge difference for ministry, for family, and different visions that we have in business and so on. And I'm just so glad to be alive to see what the Lord is doing. The fact this man went through an assassination attempt, two assassination attempts. There was a third one. They stopped at the door before he even went. He had a shotgun in his hand. But how many indictments went again after him?
I believe 96.
Yeah. And then how many times have they tried to brainwash the masses that he is the worst thing that ever happened, comparing him to fascism, Adolf Hitler, and all of that? With all of this being said, we had the mainstream media completely sold to the bureaucracy who are pushing propagandas in front of our faces all day long. On my YouTube channel, I've been clipping videos just to expose the media because I understand what they're doing now. I'm able to see through the fake news propaganda. How many times they've tried to done that? They're trying to do that to so many of us. Trump's presidency to me is a slap in the face of the mainstream media that the American people care about their country. They care about family. They care about the religion. And you can't mess with them anymore.
It can be boiled down into basically a few simple words. The American people care about their freedom.
Correct. And you cannot take it away. And I also see free speech, man. Being a YouTuber, and you've been on YouTube, and you know the pain I've gone under the Kamala Harris administration. This YouTube channel was shut down, man. Shut down. We've never had an issue with YouTube to the degree that we had in the past 4 years. I've been on YouTube for 10 years. This is the first time on YouTube channels was taken down. We were not allowed to have any conversation that was sensitive on certain subjects. None of that stuff.
That were severely needed.
Yeah, and they were severely needed. Turned out many of them were true. Some of the things that I got shut down for and censored for turned out to be true. They were confirmed later on. The supposed conspiracy theories turned out to be facts 6 months later. So with all of these factors, man, Trump's presidency means a lot to me. It means a lot to my family. I have They have two boys. they in their school they had like a little election thing. They said, "Daddy, we voted for Trump." They both voted for Trump.
Good on them.
My 13-year-old is like he's like the one Trump supporter among all his friends. He's like, some of my friends were crying. Some of them just, I gotta get off the phone because I can't take it anymore. He's like, I don't care. He's like, I'm gonna vote for Trump. He said Trump. He said, I'm a Trump supporter. I don't care what these people say. We went to a Trump rally twice in Pennsylvania when Trump came and visit. Even the last one he came, we went and actually check it out as well. So he's like, we have a family of Trump supporters here. Our entire household is Trump. Because we see what the left have done and how deranged they've become. And we see that and we look at our family and children. We say Trump is definitely a much better candidate than all the others that are talking a whole bunch of nonsense. Trump's presidency is a slap to the face of those in power who refuse to acknowledge the American people love their freedom and they will not allow you to take it away.
Amen.
And I'm so glad and so grateful for that. So glad and so grateful for it. Oh, certainly, man. So you and I are talking about coming on live again on a Friday now. That works for me. On a Friday will work. Yeah, so let's make it happen. I'll talk to you on Discord and we make up a decision from there.
Sounds
But
good.
I also want to hear for those of you in the chat room as well. Talk to us. Let us know how things are going. Yeah, let's stay in touch. I see you, Debbie. God bless you for hanging out with us tonight. This morning, well, this afternoon now. Tina, thank you for hanging out with us. It's been a blessing. Let's keep our country in your prayer. We got much more work to do. This is
Thank
not
you
the
for joining us, folks. We
Thank you.
appreciate it.
We appreciate you. All right. Have a good one, my friend. God bless you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.